go ahead and loosen the cap on your reservoir. This is your brake reservoir, and just put it right back on top loosely. I'm going to show you the easiest step of doing it with two people. Basically, you want to get a piece of hose that fits right on the end of this nipple here, that fits nice and snug, to make sure this fluid doesn't come out. And then the other end, you want to get a clear bottle. In this case, I'm going to use an old water jug, and you want to set the other end inside of that jug. This is going to help for you to see the old fluid and keep track of how much is coming out, and also keep track of the dirty fluid, and once it starts to turn clear. Because once the fluid coming out starts to turn clear and clean, then you know you flush most of that old dirty fluid out. So it's a 10mm bolt right here, or you can use a flare nut. I'm going to just go ahead and use a regular wrench. It's a brand new part and it's real easy to move. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have someone pump the brakes up. Then while they're holding the brakes all the way down to the floor, I'm going to open this bleeder. It's going to bleed whatever is in there, with whatever air is in there, out. And then I'm going to close it off. Then they're going to pump it up again and hold it all the way down to the floor. And I'm going to open it up again. It's going to release the air and the fluid down into the bottle. And I'm going to continue to do that until I push at least a half a quart out and add a half a quart to my my reservoir. But you don't have to do it that way if you're not really trying to push the old fluid out. You can just do it until you see no more air bubbles coming out. So before I start the bleeding process, I want to make sure I top it off with some brake fluid. This is a very important step, and you want to keep topping it off after every certain amount of times of opening it up. All right, pump it up and hold it. All right, hold it. Close it back. All right, pump it up. Hold it. Pump it up. Hold it. Put some more in our reservoir. And keep in mind, normally we'd be done with this already as far as bleeding goes, because the pedal is firm now, but we're trying to flush out all this fluid and put new fluid in. So we'll continue to do this, but as far as bleeding, the process is over. We can go ahead and close off this bleed screw, and we're done. All right, so we're done bleeding, and after, look at all that dirty fluid that we got out. And this is just from bleeding one side. So we have to go on the other side, and we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Like I said, of course, you can just bleed it the normal way and get a few squirts out, get the air out. But over here, we like to get as much of the old fluid out as possible and get the clean fluid running through. So by the time we stopped, the fluid that was coming out of the hose was clear. So now we know we have clean brake fluid running. So let's go ahead and put our tire back on and put our cap back on our reservoir, and we'll be done.